So when using filters, the first thing I do is visualize the shot. So that's really, I'm looking at the scene and saying, how much movement do I want in the scene? That tells me whether I'm going to use an ND filter and what strength of ND filter. If I want a little bit of texture, I'm going to maybe use a 2-stop or a 3-stop. If I want mirror flat water or really drifty type clouds, I'm going to use a 10-stop, maybe even go into a 15-stop. Now, using those ND filters, they're going to affect my shutter speed. So I'm generally going to be shooting in shutter priority or manual mode, and that gives me full control over my shutter speed. I prefer to shoot in manual mode because I then get full control over my aperture as well. So the ND filter gives me control over my shutter speed. Grad filters can be used either on a sky or they can be used on your foreground. Say for example, if you've got strong light hitting a beach, you can put a grad filter in upside down, for example, and that will bring down the exposure on your beach, on the foreground, on the sand. Most of the time though, you're going to use them on the sky, and that will enable you to bring out texture in the clouds. So settings on my camera for working with gradient filters, again, is manual mode. That enables me to fully control the exposure because the gradient filter is also going to affect the shutter speed. Right, so we have this composition here of bow fiddle rock. I'm using a leading line coming in from the left-hand side here. Look at the light, the way that's hitting bow fiddle rock there. That is just amazing. So what I'm going to do now is try and balance the exposure. I can see here using my shutter speed, that goes underexposed if I want to bring out more detail in the sky. It goes overexposed if I want to bring out more detail in the foreground. This is where my GND, graduated neutral density, or grad filter will come into play. I will place this in here, and as I place this in here, I can see that lining up now, so that now brings out detail in the sky, and I can now bring my exposure back to the center. I've now got exposure, I've got a good exposure on the sky, and I've got a good exposure on the foreground there. You can see there by looking at our histogram here, I've got a really good histogram going from the dark tones on the left hand side to the highlight tones on the right hand side. Bear in mind this histogram is showing you a JPEG evaluation. Your raw file will have a much wider histogram. So I've got my balance here with my exposure. Okay, so we've just had to move back there. The tide's coming in, a lot of water there, a lot of spray. I've actually got water on the front of my filter, so I've just got my lens cleaning cloth here. Just going to clean down the lens cleaning cloth on the filter here. So take all the spray off there. It's salt water, so when we get home, what we'll have to do is use a cleaning solution or run the filter under a tap away from you, like warm water, just running it away from you. You don't want the salt to scratch the filters, especially as they're glass, because that can happen. So I've swapped over to a 6-stop ND. Now, what that's now given me a 10-second exposure. Actually, we can probably get away with about a 13-second exposure there, looking at the histogram. Might be able to go a bit more, but I'm going to start at 13 seconds. We've still got good definition in the clouds there. What I'm now going to do is focus the image, so I'm going to make sure my lens is on autofocus. I'm using back button focusing here, AF on, focus the image there. I'm now going to switch to manual focus on the lens. I've got focus peaking activated on my camera. That's kicked in now. You can now see the red outline on these rocks here in the foreground, and you can now see the outline on the back over here of the rocks right in the distance here. So that red outline right at the back there, that shows everything is sharp front to back. So I'm now going to, using my eye menu, exposure delay mode. I don't use a remote, so I'll set exposure delay mode. I'm going to set that to 3 seconds to give me a 3-second delay between the shutter press and the camera actually taking the picture. So here we go, we're going to press the shutter. There's a 3-second delay. 1, 2, 3. Camera's now started a 13-second exposure. Just got the image back, super smooth seas. We've got beautiful light there on both fiddle rock, really good contrast. We've got some texture in the cloud, and it's recorded in camera. I don't have to go home now and post-process a load of stacked images and blend them all together. I've got the image in camera. I just need to finish it. Perhaps boost the colours a bit in post, maybe add a little bit of contrast to my taste as a photographer. But that really gives me the use of filters there. Gradient filters to control the sky exposure, ND filters to control the motion exposure. I'm really excited about swapping out to my 3-stop now, so I'm going to take another shot with my 3-stop because that's going to give me a completely different picture that hopefully should be just as good.